I'm Paul Covey. I'm the principal of Verde Early College High School, and I've been here since January of 2009. Our school put up in 2007, so I came during the second year of our school's development. And we're an early college high school, which is a very unique model. It started in Texas in 2006, and we started off in Texas with about 10, and now we're up to 165. We started serving 300 kids in Texas. Now we're at 20,000. And it's a very unique model because in this model, our kids will graduate in 4 years, if they work hard, with their associate's degree. So that means that they go on to Texas Public University, like University of Texas at Austin, they'll go in as juniors and can graduate in 2 years. And we've had many kids that have graduated after just 2 years in college at the age of 20. What else can I say about it?
Tell us how you select the kids.
Okay. Well, we're a small campus. We only have, because we're in a portable village on the campus of El Paso Community College, we can only take in 115 per year. And depending on a given year, we'll have anywhere between 200 to 300 applications. So we do have to have an application process where we select kids. But under the rules of the state of Texas, we're not allowed to use grades, test scores, or discipline as factors in who we decide to accept. So we look for basically our kids with strong attendance, because we know you got to be in school to do well. But our biggest thing is that we try to find kids with determination and grit. And that's kind of unique because there is no formula to say, yes, you have grit, no, you don't. The way we do it is that we talk to the kid, we have an interview. And we know they're middle school kids, so we know they're going to be nervous, so we take that into account. But basically we ask kids to talk to us about different things they've gone through in life. We ask them, what have they quit? And everybody's quit something. But then we ask them about why, under what circumstances. And like, for example, they quit the football team. Did they wait to the end of the season to quit, or they quit during game 3? We talk to them about what obstacles they faced and how they overcome them. We ask them, have they ever faced any academic obstacles? Because a lot of kids that do well in middle school think that they're going to breeze through an early college high school. Nobody breezes through an early college high school. There's always going to be a class at the college that's going to challenge you. And what we want to find out for the kid is, when you are challenged at the college, do you cry, go home, whine, and quit? Which if you do, that means your seat here goes empty for a whole 4 years. And that's a very expensive seat that somebody else could take advantage of. Or do you find a way to overcome it? Do you pick yourself up when you fall? Because everybody does fall. So we ask them, how do you pull yourself up? What tricks do you use? And what is your source of determination? We also ask them about the support system, or do they have one? Even if they don't have one, we ask them, do they believe in the importance of one? Because what we try to set up in our school is a sense of family, where everybody helps each other. Our mascot is the Spartans, which is kind of interesting. I mean, they're a very violent crew. If you saw the movie, so you think like an academic school, why do you pick them? Well, one of the reasons is because of how they support each other. When those 300 stood up against the Persians, they stood together as a rock, as a wall, because they support each other. If one person fell, the other person held them up. Well, that's what we do here. And we talk to our kids about that, is that if somebody here fails, we're all responsible. Not just the student, but the teachers, the administration, but so are their fellow students. If you see a kid going the wrong direction, you see a kid making bad decisions, it is all responsibility to help guide that student back on the right path. And that's what we try to build here. We're too small of a school to have anybody fail. So we want everybody to work together. And so that's our whole notion. So in our interview, we talk about, do you understand the importance of that? Do you understand the importance? And some of them say, well, I never had that in my life. And that's exactly the type of kid we want here. We want to give them that.
How many of your students come from families that have not been attending college? And how do you instill the interest for them to go to college and the confidence?
Yeah. We would say about anywhere between 50 to 60% of our kids will be first generation graduates. And that's a population we specifically look for to try to get those kids in El Paso to be graduates from college. And it's kind of interesting. It's not so much convincing the child that they can do it. It's convincing the family, because they kind of wonder, well, I couldn't do it. My husband can't do it. My wife can't do it. Abuelito never did it. I don't know if our child has it within him. And it's kind of interesting because you want to believe that parents believe their kids can achieve anything with the right support system, and to have parents doubt what their child cannot do is kind of sad. So it's our job to try to counteract that, and sometimes spend more time with the parents saying, your child will be successful because we're going to be there for them, but we can't do it alone. We need you to be there for them. We need you to support them. We need you to help motivate them, and we need you to understand that school has to be a priority. I'm not saying it's more important than family, but it has to be a priority in the family. And so we talk to families like we have a parent night every month at our school. And in our parent programs, they range from all types of different topics. Sometimes it's about finances. Sometimes it's about sex ed, which is really one of the huge things that undermines a lot of people in our community. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of young families, unmarried families, because of bad decisions that are made. And so we want to make sure that the families are aware of this can happen to your child. And here are things to look for. Here's how to help avoid that. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect, but we try to set up programs to help the families understand this. And we also have tutoring programs and talk to parents about how they can help their child, what resources are out there. Because a lot of parents, I can't help my kids study. I mean, what's pre-cal, what's that? And so, especially nowadays, even my own kids, and I'm a principal, and I can't, my daughter in middle school has all these classes I can't help her with. So we try to provide them resources where you can go to get help, to help your child.
And what kind of outcome are you seeing? What kind of success?
Well, and at the beginning, we probably lost about 40 kids from each cohort in the beginning because we really weren't sure what to look for. And ironically enough, back then, we weren't allowed to look at grades and test scores. So we looked at that stuff instead of the grit and determination stuff, and we were losing kids. Nowadays, now that we don't look at that stuff and we focus on the kid, the person, we probably lose maybe 15 kids from freshman year to high school that graduates. And the ones that we lose, they still graduate. They still graduate from here. We'll lose 15 to 20 kids. They'll leave our school and go back to the home schools because they feel it's too hard or they feel it's too stressful, which I have to admit, that's our biggest battle, is the stress. We're trying to do 6 years of school in 4. And so it is a stressful situation for any 16-year-old. And we do have programs to help kids with that, but it is an emotion it can be very challenging for some kids.
Tell us about the teachers, how you select them.
Our teachers are very unique. I mean, I by far believe I have the best faculty of any school in the country. They're very hardworking. We have 19 of them, and many of them, this is the first and only school they ever worked at. When we hired a bunch of our teachers, we looked for kids. I say kids because they're so young, but they're not kids, they're adults. We looked for adults that were going to be willing to think outside the box, that were willing to spend time in and outside the classroom. One thing we instill in our faculty is half of what a kid learns that's going to carry them through life occurs outside the classroom. So we have to spend as much time teaching the kids when they're not in the classroom as much as when they're outside the classroom. And so all of our teachers here, all 19, have to be willing to sponsor clubs or organizations. They have to be willing to tutor before and after school. And much of this is done without compensation. And they do it because they know this is what our kids here need. And so we look for people that are willing to do that. And again, think something creative. We're very big in technology in our school. We have a lot of technology, even though we have portables. So look for teachers that are willing to adapt technology, not rely on it, but adapt it to use it in their classroom. And to understand that technology helps them accomplish what they want to accomplish. It helps them transform lives. It's not to take over lives. It's to transform them. And that's the whole idea of technology. We're an Apple designated school because of our teachers. We have lots of awards we've received over the past 7 years. From Newsweek, from U.S. News and World Report, from Apple. We've been nominated to be a Blue Ribbon School this year. And all that is because of our teachers. And part of the teaching that's also, I would be remiss not to mention, that I think is very important. That means I'm very fortunate. Nobody leaves. They stay here. We have very little turnover. So that means, when I'm in principal of other schools, every year we have to kind of reteach teachers, reintroduce programs, catch people up. A lot of the people over here, we're constantly trying to figure out where people are. Here, we're able to go from step 1 to step 2 next year without catching anybody else new. Having consistency is a wonderful, wonderful thing for a principal. And I'm very fortunate that we've had a block of teachers like that.